Welcome back, everybody. So this week we are going to get this axle under that Jeep. It won't be permanent, but I'll at least get it under there and be able to start mocking up where I'm going to put all of my links. I have not got that stuff in yet. That's why the truss is not on there. It has not showed up yet. Sometimes, most of the time, I get everything delivered by UPS. But for some reason, all this stuff's coming through FedEx, and FedEx has a hard time delivering to my house, so I may end up having to go pick it up at the post office. We'll see. What am I working on? I'm working on the frame stiffeners. So what I decided to do, and I'm not 100%, no, what I am. I'm 100% sure this is gonna work. I'm taking, let me show you. So I'm taking some of this heavy duty, I think it's 9-inch channel, quarter wall, and what I'm doing is, you can see I got my marks here. I'm cutting this end, this is coming off, and then I'm going to cut this end off. Then I'm actually going to trim it down to 6 inches. So then I'm going to tuck it up underneath of the subframe. I'm going to drop the transmission cross member. I'm going to bolt. Well, it's kind of hard to explain. I'm really going to have to show you. I don't know if I'll be able to. So, okay, I got this piece already cut. And what I plan on doing is dropping the transmission and transfer case cross member down, and going to mount this piece up here underneath of this. So it'll be the frame stiffener will be bolted in underneath of the cross member, but once it's up and in place where I want it, I'm going to weld it all along this seam, all up here, and then I'll end up doing probably 2 fish plates on this side to kind of really hold it all in together. And my plan is to have my links, since it's a piece of channel, my plan is to have my links tie in to that somehow or another. I got a bunch of tabs coming and a bunch of, I don't know, axle brackets and frame brackets, and I got all kinds of stuff coming from Barnes 4-wheel drive. So once I start piecing it all together, it'll start to make more sense. So I'm going to get this piece cut out, and maybe by that time my other stuff will be here. But if not, I'll start cutting out all that stuff underneath of the engine that I haven't done yet. So stay tuned. Alright, so I got the ends all schwacked off there. Now the side that I'm going to use is going to be this side here, because it's got less holes, so it doesn't have these great big gaping holes in it. So my mark last time, there's another piece of channel that's in here, so I'm just going to cut all along here, all the way down, and take this section here off and use that section. So that's what I did on the other side. Hopefully it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. Man, there you go already. Alright, morning. We are back out. I am back out in the shop working on the Liberty. I've been pretty busy. I'll give you a little update on what I'm doing. So I got the rear axle pulled out of it. I saved the emergency brake cables, because I'm going to try and reuse them. I started cutting out all this rocker. I'm going to end up doing rock sliders. So I got a little bit more to cut up there and some more back here. This thing is ate up with rust, but that's alright because it's all getting cut out anyway. I got the front engine mount cradle out. There's so much room up here now. Okay, so this is the cradle. Alright, so the way it sits, this end here sits towards the front of the vehicle. This end sits towards the back. This section here and this section here, I need to kind of schwack out of there. So, what my plan is, let's stand this up. What my plan is, I'm going to cut it right here. Cut all that out. And the same on this side. I'm going to cut everything from here down. All that's going to go. I'm going to leave this piece because I'm going to bolt it back in there for the motor mounts. That's what the motor mounts go to. And I don't really feel like making new ones. So I'll be able to put those pieces back in. And once I bolt them in, to get the engine and everything sitting on them, I may throw some weld on it to keep them in there permanently, but we'll see. I don't know for sure if I'm going to do that or not, but I probably will. Still waiting on my barn stuff to get here. Should be here today, so we'll see. I don't know. It was supposed to come 2 days ago and yesterday and now today, so we'll see. I don't know when it's going to get here, but when it does, we're going to work on this bad mamma jammer right there and that mamma jamma there. All right, let's cut this cradle up and see if it's going to work. Okay, so got the motor mounts cut off of that cradle. I've got one cleaned up pretty good. Working on the other one. Let me show you this one here. Alright, so this is the motor mount that I'm going to use. Okay. That's the side that I cut off. Cut everything off of it. So I got it all ground down. And I got this good flat side here. In case if I need to weld something to it for additional support or what have you. I'll probably go and put another tack here. Maybe stitch that up there. And probably stitch it up here, just to make it a little stronger. Currently working on the second one. It's in not nearly as good a shape as that one. See? It still needs some work. But got everything cut off. I just have to clean everything up. I thought my new flat discs were going to come in. I'm down to just a few. used ones don't have anymore. I was hoping they was going to come in today, but they did not. My cutoff wheels did, but the flap disc didn't. So that being said, I'm going to get this other one cleaned up and then put these back in so I can let the engine and everything back down where it's supposed to be. And hopefully by that time, well, I don't know, hopefully by that time something else shows up I can work on it, because I'm kind of at a stopping point once I get that part done. So see what happens. All right, here they are, both the motor mounts all welded up, smoothed out. Put a touch of black paint on them just to make them look a little bit better. I'm gonna bolt these things in, that way I can get my engine set down, and hopefully by that time, I don't know, probably won't have no more parts yet, but have no fear, we will do something else, but I don't know what. I think, yeah, I don't know, I might start cutting that other rocker out on that side. Holy cow, I am dirty. Look at that. Man, that's even with wearing stuff. Woo! Alright, dirty business. Back to work. Alright, so here's the motor mounts. I welded the ends up here and on this back side here. I may hit this one. I did hit this one here. But these ears, they're welded all the way around, so they're good and strong. On the other side I did the same thing. They're welded all the way around, so they're good and strong. And I stitched along this side here. I don't know if it's still hot, let's see. So yeah, I stitched all along the seam. That way pieces would stay together. Make it a little bit stronger. Once they're in and it's back on its own weight and I have the front end mocked up, I'm going to figure out a cross brace to go between those two to kind of help rigidify. I don't know if that's a real word. It's not, I just made it up. It sounds good. To help rigidify the frame or the subframe on both sides. So these motor mounts, 2 bolts. We go in here like so. That one. This one. Get up there. Zip these down. And it should. Well, let me put my motor mount bolt up in there. Should be fine, I think. But you never know. Okay. Here we go. Ow! Make sure we go on direction. That one's in. They made these 2 different sizes. The front one's a 21 millimeter, and the back one is an 18. Why, I do not know. Booyah! Hit that front one more again. And that's it, and that's how they go in a nutshell. Anyway, where's my wrench? My wrench. Same thing on this side. Just tighten them down. Oh man. I think my battery's getting ready to die. So if this cuts out, just know that's why. Booyah. All right, now let's tighten up that motor mount. All right, I'm gonna go around and drop that jack down. All right, we're back out in the shop today. Unfortunately, my parts did not get here, so the axle will not be going in this week. It should be going in for temporary mock-up next week. So, but we did get a lot done. What did we get done? Let's go back over. So, we did get the rear axle pulled out. I got the rocker. I started cutting around the rocker away on this side. So this is going to be, it's going to act as a frame stiffener. It's going to go from the front all the way to the back. Now it is going to go underneath the cross member here. So this is actually going to sit up into here. So there'll only be about an inch of this showing. It'll sit flush up against the frame or subframe right here, all the way down. All this is getting cut out, so my lower links will actually be bolted to this. So I'm going to add some tabs on the inside, and then once it's all in place, this will be welded here all the way through, and I'm going to put some fish plates on this to make it even stronger. So that's how all the lower links will be mounted. Upper links be a little bit different. So get under here. So as this is mounted, it's going to be mounted all the way up against the frame. Like I said, it's going to be underneath of the cross member. So the upper links will sit on top of here, and there'll be probably another tab that comes off. So the upper links will be mounted directly to here on the front and on the rear. So the front and rear forelinks will probably be identical, and I'm even going to try to make all the arms the same length. The lower's the same length and the upper's the same length. So hopefully, that being said, what else did we get done? Motor mounts. Let's look at those. So again, took the factory motor mounts right here. I cut all that extra junk off, then just bolted them back in place. Once I get the axle in and the forelinks in, I will put another brace that goes from here. It'll come this way, probably down, and then back over to here. I don't know exactly where or how or what I'm going to do with that yet, because I still have to get a steering box. I don't know where I'm going to mount that yet, but we'll get it figured out. So I know I wanted this axle under here, but parts just did not show up. But that's all right. Like I said, a very productive day in the shop, or week in the shop, I should say. So stay tuned for next week's video, because next week's video, this axle, I guarantee it will be underneath this Jeep one way or another. And if I have it my way, the rear axle will also be under there. So, which it's still sitting over there. Still waiting on parts for it too. So, anyways, appreciate you watching the video. Like it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Follow along with this build, because this thing is going to be pretty friggin' sweet. I can't wait for it to get finished. So again, appreciate you watching. Stay tuned for more.